Milan, can we talk for a minute?
Huh? Nia? What is this about?
It's been a while since we last talked. How have you been?
Yeah, I guess it has. So what's the deal? Why are you suddenly acting all friendly and casual like this? We were never that close.
What are you talking about, Milan? We used to be on a first-name basis.
We started using first names just because we sat near each other in one class back in college. You kept chatting with me out of nowhere and insisted I call you by your name. Honestly, I don't remember us being particularly close, so what do you want?
Wow, so I was the only one who thought we were close. We hung out together, you know.
You mean that one time you were at a group date my friend invited me to? I don't even remember talking to you there.
There you go again, saying things like that.
Well, it's true. Anyway, if you're not getting to the point, I'm done responding. This is starting to feel like a waste of time.
I didn't know you were this cold. No wonder you can't understand other people's feelings.
What's that supposed to mean? Did I do something to you? Because last I checked, we haven't even seen each other since graduation.
Yeah, I know. I haven't actually spoken to you since then. I just happened to see you.
What do you mean?
I wanted to talk about Caleb.
Caleb? How do you even know about him?
Oh, I figured you wouldn't know. Well, Caleb and I are childhood friends.
Childhood friends?
Yeah, we grew up in the same neighborhood. We went to middle school together. He even confessed to me back then.
Really? And?
Well, I turned him down. I didn't think he was quite good enough for me at the time.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I was back home during the last holiday, and guess what? Caleb was visiting his parents, too. We ran into each other completely by chance. Doesn't that sound like fate?
Not really.
You're so cold. But you know what? Even I didn't think much of it at first.
Yeah, well, Caleb hasn't really changed much. He's had the same face for years. Let me guess, you were drawn to his looks?
Wait, how did you know?
You're not even going to deny it? I just remembered seeing someone at that group date who ignored everyone else just to chase after the best-looking guy there. You annoyed him so much that he tried to avoid you.
Well, that's harsh. You're making me sound like some shallow girl who only cares about appearances. I mean, yeah, I used to be like that, but this is different. Caleb's special. He's kind and easy to talk to.
So what? Is that why you're contacting me? What does this have to do with me and Caleb?
I confessed to him, okay? I told him how I felt, but he turned me down. Said he was already seeing someone. Then yesterday I saw him walking with you, and I realized you're the one he's dating.
Took you long enough to figure that out. Honestly, I barely remember what you look like.
Even as a joke, that's kind of mean, but whatever. Caleb's nice, though, isn't he?
I wasn't joking, and yeah, I guess he's nice enough, but what's your point?
I mean, think about it. Even after I confessed, he still rejected me properly. He didn't make excuses or try to sneak around. He actually respected the person he's with, even if he doesn't really love her. That's sweet, right?
Wait, what did you just say?
That he's sweet?
No, the part where you said, even if he doesn't really love her. Are you seriously talking about me?
Yeah, obviously.
And what exactly makes you think that?
Because he confessed to me before. Why would he suddenly be in love with someone else? Clearly, he's just dating you because he couldn't get over me.
Are you serious right now?
Of course I'm serious. He's always liked me. Why would that change? I doubt he's met anyone more attractive than me since then.
Wow, you are unbelievable. You really think the world just pauses for you, huh?
It's not like that. I'm just being realistic. I mean, back then, Caleb was so obvious about how much he liked me. He couldn't even talk to me without stumbling over his words. His face would turn red just by standing next to me. Do you really think feelings like that just disappear?
Yeah, it's called moving on. People do it all the time.
I don't buy it. He's just pretending with you. Maybe he's just tired of being single, or maybe you're just convenient. I mean, no offense, but Caleb's way out of your league. There's no way he's really into you.
Right? And I'm sure you telling yourself that makes you feel better.
You know what? Fine. Believe whatever you want, but you should know when I talked to Caleb, we actually had a great conversation. He remembered so much about me. Stuff I didn't even think he'd still remember. He remembered my favorite color, the old nickname my friends used to call me, even the way I used to tie my hair back in middle school. Doesn't that say something?
Yeah, it says that Caleb's polite enough not to ignore you. It doesn't mean he's secretly in love with you.
You're being ridiculous. You can't seriously believe he's really over me.
I can and I do. Look, if you think Caleb's still stuck on you, that's your problem, but don't drag me into your little fantasy.
It's not a fantasy. Caleb and I have a history. You're just some phase. He's with you now because he's unsure of himself. Once he realizes that, he'll come back to me.
If you really believe that, then why are you even calling me? If you're so confident that Caleb's going to leave me for you, why are you wasting your time trying to convince me?
Because I wanted to warn you. I thought you deserved to know that you're just a placeholder. I figured if you had any self-respect, you'd walk away before you got hurt.
Wow, that's rich coming from you. Here's a better idea. How about you deal with your own rejection like an adult instead of pretending you're trying to help me? Caleb told you no. Maybe you should try respecting that instead of acting like you're entitled to him.
I'm not acting entitled.
You're literally telling me to break up with my boyfriend because you think you're somehow guaranteed to win him back. That's pathetic.
I'm just being honest. I'm trying to help you.
No, you're trying to make yourself feel better. You want to believe that Caleb only rejected you because of me, not because he's just not interested in you anymore. That's the truth you can't face.
That's not true.
If you're so sure Caleb still wants you, go ahead and keep waiting for him. But I'll tell you right now, Caleb's not coming back to you. He's with me now, and he's happy, so whatever little story you're telling yourself, it's not real.
What?
Nothing.
No, seriously, don't give me that. What's going on?
I told you it's nothing. Forget it.
You know, I've been thinking. You're only dating Caleb because you forced yourself on him, right? I bet you cornered him, made him feel like he couldn't say no. Caleb's far too nice for his own good, so I am sure you just pressured him until he gave in.
Wow. You really believe that? No. Caleb's the one who asked me out.
Yeah, right. Don't act like I'm stupid. I already know what really happened.
No, you don't. Not even close.
Look, this is what I really wanted to say.
Oh boy, here we go. What is it this time?
I want you to break up with Caleb.
What?
You heard me. I want you to break up with him.
Yeah, no.
What? Why not?
Because this is insane. Why would I break up with my boyfriend just because you told me to?
Because you're just in the way. Caleb doesn't really love you. He's just too nice to say it. He's trying not to hurt your feelings, that's all. So if you actually cared about him, you'd let him go.
And what makes you think I'd just take your word for that?
Because Caleb loves me. He always has. And I love him too. If you weren't in the picture, we'd be together already. Face it, he's practically my boyfriend. You're just temporary.
You're actually serious right now, aren't you?
Of course I'm serious. I've been waiting long enough. Just break up with him already.
Okay, wow. Listen, let me make this crystal clear. I am not breaking up with Caleb because you've got some weird fantasy about him. Whatever you've been telling yourself, it's not real.
If you won't break up with him, then we're not friends anymore.
Are you okay? Seriously, we were never friends to begin with. So, yeah, I guess we're done now. Tragic.
Don't say that. We've always been friends.
Do you want to be friends or do you not want to be friends? Pick one already, because I am honestly not interested either way.
Ugh, just break up with him already. He deserves someone like me, not you.
Mind if I ask you something?
What now?
You said Caleb isn't even your type, right? That you weren't really into his looks at first?
Yeah, so?
So what changed?
I don't know. We were talking and I found out he's the CEO of his company now. He's not that much older than me either, and honestly, I was surprised. I didn't think someone our age could already be that successful.
Ah, got it. So it's the money. Yeah, that makes sense. You know what? I'll give you credit for being upfront about it. At least you're honest in your own twisted way.
Oh, please, don't make it sound like that. Money's important, but it's not everything. But it matters. I'm not going to apologize for wanting some security.
Right, except you were just saying Caleb's the love of your life. Sounds like what you actually love is his paycheck.
That's not fair. I really do love him.
Right. You love Caleb. Just the version of him that happens to have a fat bank account.
That's not true.
Be honest with yourself. If Caleb wasn't a CEO, if he was just some regular guy working a 9-to-5 job, you wouldn't even give him the time of day.
That's not true.
Sure, whatever you say. Nia.
What now?
do you know someone named May? She's your friend, right? The one who invited us to that outing a while back?
Yeah, I know her. Why?
Well, May told me something interesting the other day. She said one of her friends recently got scammed, tricked into racking up debt by some guy. Sound familiar?
Yeah, that was me.
I figured. So you're drowning in debt, and now you're trying to use Caleb as your safety net. Makes sense.
It's not like that.
Oh, really? What else am I supposed to think? You suddenly fell in love right after finding out Caleb's successful? Please.
That's not fair. You don't know what I've been through.
I know enough, and since we're talking about Caleb, want to hear something interesting he told me?
What did he say?
He mentioned something from middle school, said there was this dumb prank he got roped into once. Some stupid dare where he had to confess to a younger girl as a joke.
Wait, what?
Yeah, apparently it was this ridiculous prank. Confess to someone and see how they react. Caleb told me he felt horrible about it afterward, said he still feels guilty to this day. Even though he ended up getting rejected, it stuck with him. Said it made him realize how hurtful it is to mess with someone's feelings like that.
And what's your point?
My point is, Caleb's been played before. He knows what it feels like to be strung along. You really think he's dumb enough to fall for your act?
No, that's not.
And that's not all. When Caleb visited home recently, he said something else.
What did he say?
He mentioned running into some girl on his way back. Said she started clinging to him out of nowhere, kept going on about how they were childhood friends or something. He said she practically threw herself at him and then confessed like she was doing him a favor.
That can't be.
That was you, wasn't it? You seriously thought you could just show up, bat your eyelashes, and have him fall into your lap?
I didn't think.
Oh, I know you didn't think. That's exactly the problem. Whatever you convinced yourself was happening, that wasn't reality. It was all in your head.
No, it can't be.
Hate to break it to you, but Caleb's not interested. He never was. And honestly, if this whole thing was just about digging up a rich guy to fix your money problems, that's just pathetic.
Shut up. You don't know what I've been through. Don't act like you're better than me.
You're right. I don't know what you've been through, but I know this. Caleb doesn't owe you anything. If you've really got the time to cause scenes like this, maybe you should put that energy toward figuring out how to pay off your debt. And while you're at it, stay away from Caleb. He doesn't need your mess dragging him down. After that, I didn't hear anything from her for a while. At first, I wondered if it was just temporary, like maybe she was taking some time to sort through everything, to process what had happened. But as days turned into weeks, I started to realize that she had completely distanced herself. It was almost as though she had vanished without a trace. The silence was deafening, and it left me with a feeling of uncertainty, not just about her, but about what had transpired between us all. It wasn't until later that I heard from May. She had gotten some details about what had happened to her after our last encounter. Apparently, she had thrown herself into trying to pay off the debts that had been hanging over her head. She must have been desperate, as we all can be when faced with financial pressures. But instead of finding a way out, her attempts had only made things worse. In her rush to solve that problem, she had ended up accumulating even more debt, spiraling deeper into the hole she had already dug for herself. The realization hit me hard. Debt is not something to be taken lightly. It can entrap people in ways they don't even anticipate. I had known that financial struggles were a reality for many people, but hearing how much she had gotten caught in it made me realize just how easy it is for someone to fall victim to a vicious cycle. It made me reflect on how dangerous debt really is. It doesn't just affect your bank account, it affects your peace of mind, your sense of security, and your mental health. The worry, the constant anxiety about how to make ends meet, how to pay off what you owe, it's overwhelming. And I could see how quickly it can spiral, how someone can make one bad decision after another while trying to dig themselves out, only to end up even further in the hole. I was thankful that I had never been in that position, but hearing May's account made me more aware of how easily it can all unravel. May also told me that one of the worst parts of it all was that she had been tricked. In her desperation, she had fallen victim to a scam, someone who promised to help her get back on track only to make things worse. I couldn't help but feel a sense of anger and frustration. People who take advantage of others when they're most vulnerable are the worst kinds of predators. Scams like that are an unfortunate reality for so many, and I felt a strange mixture of sympathy and concern for her. She had been in such a difficult place that she couldn't even see the manipulation happening right in front of her. I have always known that people like that exist, but Hearing how easily they could exploit someone made me more cautious in the future. It's scary how quickly trust can be shattered, how quickly one's life can be altered in the worst way possible when they least expect it. Despite everything, I had already moved on from the chaos that surrounded her. At that point, I had made a decision to marry the man I loved. We were in a stable place now, with no more uncertainty clouding our future. There was no fear of being tricked into something like a marriage scam because I knew my partner was someone I could trust completely. We had already been through so much together, and our relationship had only grown stronger. His business had finally become successful after years of hard work, and it was because of that success that he felt confident enough to propose to me. I couldn't have been happier. It wasn't just the proposal itself that made me feel so confident. It was the culmination of everything we had worked through together. His hard work, determination, and loyalty to me were qualities that I admired deeply. I had seen the highs and lows of his journey, and I was proud to stand by him through it all. His success wasn't just his own, it was ours. It felt like the reward for all the time we had invested into each other, for all the faith we had placed in one another. As I reflected on everything, it struck me just how differently things had turned out for both of us. While she had continued to struggle, constantly battling against the tide of her own choices, I had managed to find peace and stability. I had built a life with someone I could count on, someone who loved me unconditionally, and I was now preparing to marry him. The contrast between our situations was stark, and it made me think about the decisions I had made in my own life, how they had led me to where I was today. There was something deeply humbling in realizing how our choices, whether big or small, shaped our lives. In some ways, I almost felt a sense of guilt about how things had turned out. I didn't wish for her to suffer, but at the same time, I knew that her situation was a result of her own actions. She had made reckless choices, trusted the wrong people, and ultimately found herself alone and burdened by debts she couldn't handle. It was a harsh lesson, but one that I think she would have to learn on her own. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that there was nothing more I could do for her. Sometimes you have to let people face the consequences of their actions, no matter how hard that may be. And while I couldn't change her fate, I knew that I was in control of my own future. I had worked hard to get where I was, and I was not going to let anything, or anyone, ruin the happiness I had found. I had learned so much from the past, lessons about trust, responsibility, and the importance of making careful decisions. And with those lessons, I was moving forward, ready to start a new chapter with the man I loved. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, wait a second. Why didn't you tell me about your third child? I had no idea, and now I hear this?
Huh? What's going on all of a sudden?
I just found out from your mom today. You're having a third child? Why didn't you tell me? Are you mocking me because I can't have kids?
No, Jamie, that's not it at all. I didn't mean to make you feel bad. It's just that I heard you've been struggling with some gynecological issues recently, and the whole infertility thing came up. I didn't want to add to your stress, so I decided to hold off on sharing the news until you were in a more stable place emotionally. I was just trying to be considerate.
That's a lie. You were mocking me, weren't you? You know, I didn't ask for this illness, right? I didn't want to be infertile. I've wanted kids for so long, and now you're telling me about your third child like it's no big deal?
Hey, calm down. I just heard about it through the grapevine from my mom, and honestly, it's not like there's no hope left for you. There's still a chance. Don't worry. And besides, isn't your husband fully on board with the treatments now?
No, it's never going to happen. My treatments are so hard, and no one knows when it will end. My husband doesn't really understand how tough it is. Everyone else around me can have kids easily, and I'm stuck trying for so long with nothing to show for it. I wanted to have kids while I was young, you know. I wanted a big family, and now it feels like it's slipping away. You're so lucky. You're just popping out babies one after the other, and I can't even get one.
All right, calm down, okay? You're only 24, both you and your husband. There's still time, and it's not hopeless. If it's really hard for you, don't get mad at me. Talk to your husband. Work together. Figure things out as a couple, okay?
I can't calm down. I want a baby now. If I can't have one, you should at least let me take one of yours. Come on, just give me your third child. I'll adopt them.
Wait, what? Are you seriously asking me for my child? You're out of your mind.
Why Why not? You've got 3 kids now. That's more than enough, right? If you don't need all of them, why don't you just give me one? I'll adopt them and it will be perfect. You'll be helping me and you won't even notice the difference. You've got the resources to raise 2 kids and I'll finally be able to stop struggling with infertility treatments. We both win. I swear I'll raise them with so much love and care. I won't let them feel like they're missing out on anything.
What are you even saying? I didn't ask for any of this. I've been trying so hard for this 3rd child and now you want me to just give them away? I have been through so much to get here and you think it's that easy?
I don't get it. You're just popping out kids like it's nothing while I've been stuck for so long trying to make my dream come true. I deserve one of your kids. I can raise them just as well as you can. It's the best option for both of us. And honestly, you don't even need a 3rd one. You're fine with 2.
No, I'm not giving you my child. I never said I didn't want them. I wanted this 3rd child just as much as the first 2. You can't just ask for my kid like that.
But it's so unfair. You're doing fine with your 2 kids, and I'm stuck in this never-ending cycle of treatments. This isn't about you needing a 3rd kid. It's about me needing a chance to be a mom, too. I'm not asking for too much.
Jamie, seriously, calm down. I can't just give you my child. What you're asking is unreasonable. This isn't some simple favor I can just do for you. I'm not going to sacrifice my own family like that for you.
But I need this. I've wanted a child for so long, and I can't just keep waiting around, losing hope. You're my best friend. We've been through everything together, and now you're telling me I can't even have this one thing?
This is not how it works, Jamie. This is not a simple request. If you want a child, you need to work through your situation with your husband, not try to take what's mine.
No, I don't care anymore. I just want a baby. You're just being selfish. You've got your kids already, and I've got nothing.
Just please listen to me. You're not thinking straight. You're acting out of desperation, but you can't just take someone else's child. That's not how family works. And you're not in the right state of mind right now.
No, you're wrong. I'm fine. I'm doing this because I need this so badly. If you won't give me your child, then I'll figure it out myself. I'm getting one, even if I have to go through every option available.
Okay, this isn't a solution. You need help, not a rash decision like this. Please think about what you're doing.
You're not going to help me? Then I'll just do it on my own. I'm leaving now, and when I come back next weekend, I'll take that baby. You'll see. Everything will work out.
Jamie, no, this is not okay. You need to stop right now.
Excuse me, is this Willow's number? This is Jamie's husband, Daniel.
Wait, you're Jamie's husband?
Yes, nice to meet you, though I'm sorry for the strange circumstances. I'm borrowing Jamie's phone to get in touch with you. Lately, she's been saying some really troubling things, and I'm honestly at a loss. She suddenly decided to stop her infertility treatments, and, well, she started talking about adopting your child. Your 3rd child, to be specific.
What? What's she saying now? She's going on about adopting my 3rd child? I don't even know how to process this. I'm sorry, I know this might sound strange, but please, can you do something? She won't stop, Daniel. She's already picked out a name for the child, Jack. I've told her 1,000 times that I don't want to give up my baby to her, and yet she keeps insisting that she'll come next weekend to take him. This is beyond the point of reason.
I can't even begin to explain how sorry I am for all of this. I only found out about her desire to adopt your child recently, and I've tried everything to get her to see sense. I've been speaking to her daily, but she won't listen. She's been going to baby stores for the past few days, buying all sorts of things: diapers, baby clothes, cribs, bottles, toys. She's even picked out a name for the baby, Jack. I don't know where she got it from. She's not just buying things, she's acting like she's already the mother. Every time I try to stop her, she gets frustrated and starts saying things that don't even make sense, and then the tantrums follow. I feel like I'm losing control of this whole situation.
Jack, she's... What? You've got to be kidding me. My baby is a girl, Daniel. How could she do this? Why is she making all these decisions without even asking me? Jamie used to be a normal person. I don't understand what happened. I know we've had some rough patches, but this is something else entirely.
I know, I really do. It's been difficult to watch. Jamie's been struggling a lot with the infertility treatments. It's been mentally and physically exhausting for her. But it seems like she's lost touch with reality. I don't want to make excuses for her behavior, but it feels like she's trying to cope by escaping. She's putting all her hopes into this fantasy, this idea of adopting your baby. And I know it's not right to drag you into this, especially when you have your own family and life to manage. I'm really sorry that it's come to this.
I'm really scared, Daniel. I can't believe what I'm hearing. This whole situation is overwhelming me. I never thought Jamie would go this far. She's always been stubborn, but this is like she's lost herself. I feel like I'm being invaded, like my privacy and my family are under attack. What am I supposed to do with this? I don't even know where to go from here.
I understand, truly. I've been doing my best to control this situation, but I can't do it alone. It's hard because I've got my own work to focus on. But Jamie's becoming more and more fixated on this idea. I'm trying to prevent her from coming over, but it's not easy. I thought maybe it would be best for you to take a break from all this, go somewhere safe, away from the situation for a while, at least until Jamie calms down. You deserve some peace of mind, and this situation is anything but peaceful.
I see what you mean. You're right. I can't stay here, not with Jamie getting worse. It's just so unsettling. But where can I go? I don't want to be near Jamie, but I don't have many options. I can't stay here, not knowing what she might do next. But at least if I go to my sister's, I'll feel a little safer. Jamie won't know where she lives, and I think that's the best option for now.
I think that's a good idea. You're absolutely right to be cautious. I'll keep doing my best to talk to Jamie and help her realize that she can't do this. I'll keep trying to calm her down, but she's being really difficult. Please don't feel bad about needing to step away from the situation for a while. This is about your safety and peace of mind.
Thank you, Daniel. I really appreciate you saying that. This whole thing has been so confusing. I never expected any of this. But now I need to think about what's best for my baby, and I have to protect her. I'll go to my sister's and stay there for now. I just hope Jamie realizes how out of line she's being before it's too late.
You're doing the right thing. I know this is a lot to handle, but we're in this together. I'll keep you updated on how things go with Jamie. I'll do everything I can to make sure she comes to her senses. I'm sorry that you have to go through this, but please know that you're not alone. We'll get through this somehow.
I really appreciate that, Daniel. I know this is hard for you, too. Please try to keep Jamie safe and help her calm down. I know she's been through a lot, but I just don't know how much more of this I can handle.
I promise I'll keep doing my best. I'll stay on top of it. And if you ever need anything or need help, just let me know. I'm so sorry for everything, and I'll do whatever it takes to help you get through this.
Thank you. I just want this to be over. I want peace for both of us.
We'll get there, I promise. Take care of yourself. We'll figure this out one step at a time.
Willow, where are you right now? Where's my baby? Where's Jack? Give him back to me, you kidnapper.
What? You really came to my house? This needs to stop right now, Jamie. I told you before, I'm not giving my child up for adoption. Stop making decisions on your own. Stop buying baby things and naming the child without asking. You can't just go ahead and plan everything like this.
You said you'd give him to me. Why are you turning your back on me now?
I never said I was giving my child away, not once. I don't understand why you're so fixated on my baby.
It's not fair. You've got 3 kids now, Willow. Why can't you just give me one of them? Why does everything come so easily for you? Why do you get to have children without any of the pain I'm going through? I want a baby too. I've been fighting for this. Why can't I have what you have? It's unfair.
Jamie, please. My sister wants to talk with you, all right? Just let her talk to you for a second, okay? It's Amber. I don't know if you remember me, but we used to play together when we were kids.
Yes, I remember. Please, you have to help me. Talk to Willow. She promised me. I'll take care of the baby. Daniel's against it, but I'll raise the child alone if I have to.
Jamie, Willow doesn't want to give up her baby. There was no prior promise of adoption. This sudden request is too much for anyone to process. Can you please just let it go? You have to accept that this isn't going to happen.
But she's already got 3 kids. Why can't she just give me one? Why is she so selfish? I just want to be a mom. Why does she get to have children without any of the struggles I'm facing?
Jamie, you can't just ask someone for their child like it's nothing. This is Willow's child, her flesh and blood. This isn't a decision that can be made lightly. Think about what you're asking. You can't demand someone's child because you feel entitled to it. You need to take a step back and reflect on your actions. You're not listening to anyone, and it's causing so much pain for everyone involved.
Shut up. You don't understand. I have been trying so hard to get pregnant, and I can't. I'm doing everything I can, but nothing works. Meanwhile, people like Willow just get pregnant so easily. Why does she get to have everything, and I don't?
I do understand. I know how hard it is. I've been through the same thing. I didn't have a disease like you, but I was still left infertile. I lost my ability to have children years ago. My ex-husband's mother pushed me down the stairs while I was pregnant, and after that, I couldn't carry a child. I tried everything, but it was too late. My ex-husband didn't help me through it. In the end, we divorced. I know the pain, Jamie, but I had to come to terms with it. And I don't want you to go down a path that'll only make things worse.
Oh, Amber, I didn't know that. I'm so sorry.
I know how badly you want a child, and I understand that feeling. I know infertility treatments are painful. I know it's hard when nothing seems to work. But you can't take someone else's child to fill the void inside you. It will never make things better.
I don't know what to do. I just wanted to be a mom so badly. It feels like everyone else gets what they want, and I'm stuck in this endless cycle of disappointment.
I know how it feels, but you've got people who care about you. Your husband, your family, and your friends, they're all here to support you. And you don't have to go through this alone, but taking Willow's child isn't the answer. It's just going to cause more pain for everyone involved. You need to let this go and focus on healing and the support around you.
You're right, Amber. I've been so selfish. I've hurt Willow, and I don't even know why I did this. I just feel so lost, but now I see it. I need to let go of this. I'm so sorry, Amber. I'm sorry for everything.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Jamie. You're not alone in this. Maybe you should think about seeing a counselor. I can recommend the places where I went. It helped me when I was at my lowest, and it could help you too. Take your husband and go. And when you're ready, you can apologize to Willow. But first, you need to heal.
Yes, you're right. I'll go talk to Daniel and figure this out. Thank you, Amber. I don't know what I would have done without you.
You're welcome. Take care of yourself, Jamie. And get the help you need. I'll always be here for you.
Thank you. I'll do better. I promise.
After everything had settled down, Jamie, with the encouragement of Amber and Daniel, decided to attend counseling. The idea of facing her own feelings and understanding the impact of her actions on others was something that clearly weighed on her mind. The decision to seek help wasn't an easy one for her, but it was a step towards healing. Amber, who had been a constant source of support for Jamie, along with Daniel, who had seen the effects of her behavior on both herself and those around her, had both gently guided her towards this decision. They knew that Jamie needed to come to terms with her actions in a way that only professional guidance could offer. It wasn't just about fixing what had happened. It was about making sure that Jamie could move forward, healthier and more self-aware. For a long time, Jamie had been dealing with the consequences of her choices, and it was clear to anyone who knew her well that she carried a heavy burden. But as she began to attend counseling, something started to shift in her. She was no longer the same person who had made those rash decisions. There was a new sense of clarity in her eyes, a hint of peace that hadn't been there before. Jamie was learning to face the things that had haunted her, both emotionally and mentally, and she was beginning to understand how those things had affected her and the people around her. It wasn't an overnight change. It took time, but Jamie was committed to it. One day, not long after she had started counseling, I received a letter from Jamie. It was a handwritten apology, heartfelt and sincere. She expressed her regret for everything that had happened between us. She wrote about how deeply she regretted the pain she had caused and how much she had come to understand the consequences of her actions. There was something raw in her words, something vulnerable, that told me this wasn't just an apology for the sake of making amends. It was an apology because Jamie genuinely recognized her mistakes. In the letter, she shared how much she had changed over the past few months. Jamie spoke about her struggles, her journey through counseling, and the emotional growth she had experienced during that time. But perhaps the most unexpected part of the letter came when she talked about her decision regarding fertility treatments. It was something that had always been a dream of hers, and yet, for reasons that were deeply personal, she had put it on hold for a long time. In the letter, Jamie expressed her desire to try again. She wrote that once she felt mentally and physically stable, she would like to pursue fertility treatments once more. She had never given up on the dream of becoming a mother, but for a long time, the emotional weight of everything she had gone through had made it difficult for her to even consider it. Now, however, it seemed that she had regained the strength to try again. That was a significant moment for her, taking the step to openly talk about her future goals and the healing she was experiencing. It wasn't just a matter of apologizing for the past, it was about recognizing that her journey wasn't over. There was still hope, still a chance for her to create the future she had once envisioned, and it was a future where she could be a mother, something she had dreamed of for so long. Time passed, and I tried to process everything. I had always wished for Jamie's healing, but seeing her take ownership of her actions and taking concrete steps toward a better life was a kind of resolution I didn't know I needed. She was no longer the same person who had hurt me in the past. There was growth and maturity in her, and even though the past couldn't be erased, there was a glimmer of hope in the letter that spoke to her genuine effort to make things right. Then, 1.5 years later, I received another letter from Jamie. This time it came with pictures of her, her husband, and a small ultrasound image. It was a moment of pure joy and excitement for her, one that she wanted to share. She had finally achieved what she had worked so hard for. Her fertility treatments had been successful, and she was pregnant. I could tell from the photos that this was a moment she had dreamed about for so long, and now it was finally happening. The joy in her letter was undeniable, and as I read it, I felt a wave of emotion wash over me. There was a part of me that was deeply happy for her, knowing that she had made it through the struggles and was now on the path to something truly wonderful. It had been such a long and difficult journey for Jamie, and seeing her on the other side of it, so full of hope and happiness, was a powerful reminder of the strength of the human spirit. Jamie had faced her mistakes, learned from them, and had not let them define her. Instead, she had chosen to move forward, heal, and create the life she had always wanted. The news of her pregnancy was a reflection of all the hard work she had put into herself, and the ways she had worked to build a new life for herself and her family. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Clay. Wow, it's been forever since we've talked, huh? How's Sally doing? What grade is she in now? Does she have a boyfriend? I've got so many questions to ask. We have a lot of catching up to do. I feel really bad about making you wait 10 years for me, but I wanted to let you know that I'm sorry for that. But it's all right now. I'm ready to get back together again.
Who are you?
Come on, you know who I am. I'm your ex-wife, Maria.
Sorry, doesn't ring a bell. I think you have the wrong number.
Clay, there's literally zero chance that you don't remember me. I'm being serious, so stop screwing with me.
I don't know what to tell you, lady. I have no idea who you are. I do seem to remember being married once. If I recall correctly, my ex-wife one day left a letter to me on the kitchen table that said, "I'm sorry, but I've found my true love." It turned out she had dropped off our daughter at daycare and then up and vanished into thin air. I haven't heard anything from her since, but I've forgotten all about her. I don't even remember her name anymore.
Clay, for the last time, stop acting like a child and listen to me. I am trying to have an adult conversation here, if you don't mind.
I don't know. I usually only have adult conversations with, adults. And speaking of acting like a child, I've been caring for a child the last 10 years while you've been off doing God knows what. I could have sworn I blocked your number back then. How are you even messaging me now?
Yeah, you did block me, you little baby. So I had to go out and change my phone number just so I could talk to you. That's how serious I am about this.
Well, you wasted all that time and effort. I don't want to speak with you ever again.
You're not actually still mad about what happened 10 years ago, are you? We've had 2 presidential elections since we broke up. It's time to move on. And I just apologized to you, didn't I?
If you think that a simple apology is enough to make up for what you did, you need your head examined.
Wow, some gentleman you are, talking to a lady like that. But it's all right, I'm prepared to be the bigger person, so I'll apologize again. I'm sorry, Clay.
You're a real piece of work, Maria. I mean, you're acting as if you legitimately believe that you didn't do anything wrong.
I didn't do anything wrong, though. It was all his fault. He came onto me so hard that I just couldn't resist. I made a simple mistake, and it could happen to anyone. So if you want to be mad at someone, be mad at him. I'm just as much of a victim as you are. He tricked me.
You know, I think you could probably skip getting your head examined and just go straight to being locked up in a mental asylum.
There you go again, emotionally abusing me.
You want to talk about emotional abuse, Maria? Okay, let's talk about it. 10 years ago, I finished work early and went home expecting to see my wife waiting for me. Instead, I found a letter saying you were running away with another guy. Then, just a few seconds later, I get a call from Sally's daycare saying you still hadn't picked her up. What sort of effect do you suppose that had on my emotions, huh?
Yeah, I know. I maybe should have done things a bit differently.
Maybe a bit? But you know what? Forget about me. I'm a man. I can take it. Sally, however, is still a young girl. She was 3 years old when her mother abandoned her, Maria. Do you have any idea how hard that was for her?
Wow, she was only 3 back then? That doesn't seem that long ago. And yeah, I guess a girl does really need her mother at that age.
If you were aware of that, then what were you thinking running away like you did?
Again, Clay, I was tricked, deceived. It wasn't my fault. Taking care of Sally was crazy stressful for me. I wasn't thinking properly. And he took advantage of my mental condition.
Even if that were true, and that's a big if, it wouldn't change the fact that you did the cruelest thing you could possibly do, both to me and to Sally.
I know that, Clay. I know. It was wrong of me to leave you and Sally behind. I realize that. And that's exactly why I'm telling you that I want to come back. Why is that so hard for you to understand?
Why is it so hard for you to understand that you're neither wanted nor needed? You only knew Sally for 3 years, and as of today, you've been gone for 10. She's gotten used to life without the mother who abandoned her when she was 3 years old.
I don't think you're taking Sally's best interests into account, Clay. What's better for a child, to have a mother or not? You've been taking care of her all by yourself these last 10 years, haven't you? That must have been really hard on you. But don't worry, I'm going to be there to help you out from now on. That would be better for you, Sally, and me.
It would have been better for all of us if you hadn't left in the first place. You're the reason she's been without her mother all these years. And above all, I have zero interest in getting back together with you. I've had my sister here to help me out with Sally, so there's absolutely no reason for you to come back home now.
Clay, putting on this strong and stoic act is only going to hurt you and Sally. And you've been making your sister help you? Think about how much trouble you've caused her. And if you'll just take a moment to swallow your pride and think clearly, I know you'll realize what the right thing to do is.
Yeah, I do know what I should do.
Great. I just wish you wouldn't have put up so much of a fuss. You wasted all that time and effort for nothing.
I'll ask Sally what she thinks.
Huh?
If you're as concerned for her well-being as you claim, then it only makes sense to ask her directly what she wants, right? I can go and ask her what she wants right now.
Well, okay, yeah, I guess that's fair. Go ahead and ask her. Sorry to keep you waiting. There was a lot of background information to cover. Good grief, it took you long enough. And don't give me any crap about background information. It's a really simple question. Does Sally want me to come back, yes or no? Well, let's hear it. What did Sally say? Dad told me that he would give you my answer for me, but I was firm that I wanted to be the one to speak to you myself. Wait, Sally? Is that really you? Oh my God! Hey there, princess. Mommy's missed you so much.
I bet you've gotten a lot taller since I last saw you. I can't wait to meet you. We have so much to catch up on.
Catch up? Catching up would imply that we used to have a relationship. But that's not the case for us. We never had a relationship. I don't even know you. You're a total stranger to me. And Dad always told me to never go with strangers.
What are you talking about, sweetie? I'm not a stranger. I'm your mom.
No, you're not. I don't have a mom.
Oh, don't be silly, baby. Of course you have a mom. She's me. I'm your mom. Oh, no. I think I know what's going on here. It's him, isn't it? He's gone and told you all sorts of lies about me to try and make you hate me. Well, don't you worry one little bit, Sally. I am every bit your mom, your one and only mom. I'm not a stranger. I was there when you were born. You just don't remember me, that's all. I know it'll all come back to you once we meet up, though.
I do have memories from way back then, actually. Faint memories, but memories nonetheless. But I always thought that the woman in my memories was Aunt Stacy, the woman who always looks after me while Dad is at work. I had no idea that woman was my mom. After all, I've never called anyone mom before in my life. At least not that I can remember, anyway. I really only have vivid memories from after you had already left, so you can't expect me to remember you.
Oh, Sally, I am so sorry for leaving you behind all those years ago. Every time I think about what I did to you, it makes me want to cry my eyes out. And I want to make up for that. I want to come back to you, sweetie, so please, honey, please, don't say anything like, I don't have a mom. It's like you're shoving a knife right into my heart. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard anyone say.
I don't know what you want me to tell you, lady. I said I don't have a mom because it's the truth. I literally do not have a mom. You can disagree if you want. That's your prerogative. But the fact remains that there's nothing in my heart but an empty void where Mom used to be.
Oh, you poor little thing. You've been totally brainwashed by your dad. I don't like talking about your dad to you like this, but your dad hates me for no reason. That's why he's been telling you lies about me. And the worst part is the effect his lies are having on you. He is going out of his way to keep you from having the mom that you desperately need. So tell me, honey, what did your dad tell you about me?
Well, when I was younger, I used to ask him about where my mom was. All the other kids in my class had moms, but not me. But he only ever said, you don't have a mom, and that's okay.
I knew it. He was brainwashing you.
It's not really brainwashing, though, is it? I mean, what was he supposed to tell me as a 5-year-old girl? Well, you see, your mom had an affair with another man, and she abandoned you so she could run off with him. Something like that? So I can totally understand why he simply told me that I don't have a mom. You get it too, right?
Oh, well, sure, I guess I can understand that. Yeah, when you put it that way, you're right. It's not too easy to talk to kids about affairs and stuff. Okay, I can see your point there.
I'm glad we're on the same page so far. And I can admit that you have a point too about kids needing their moms. Back when I was in the 4th and 5th grade, the other kids used to pick on me because I didn't have a mom. My teachers told them off for it, obviously, but they did it in the absolute worst way possible. They treated me like I was some kind of fragile object. Like if anyone breathed on me the wrong way, I'd just shatter. I hated that. It was worse than the bullying, really. It made me want to never go to school again. It was really hard for me back then. I even took out my frustrations on Dad and Aunt Stacy. I was like, why don't I have a mom? Where did she go? Did you make her go away? I feel really guilty about that. It wasn't their fault.
Oh, you poor, sweet, innocent little thing. I can tell it's been hard for you, but it's all right now. Mommy's coming home.
It is all right now. I'm fine without you. Dad works really hard during the week in order to make sure we have everything we need. Even still, he always leaves his weekends and holidays open to spend with me. He cooks me dinner, takes me places. We have a lot of fun together. And since my Aunt Stacy comes here during the week when he's not here, I'm never alone at home. Plus, elementary school was rough for me, but I'm in middle school now, so the people around me are way more mature. No one makes fun of me for not having a mom anymore, and I've actually made a lot of friends. So I'm perfectly happy both at home and at school now.
But imagine if you had your mommy with you too, then you'd be even happier. Don't you think so?
No, actually I don't. I've already told you a bunch of times I don't have a mom, and I'm just fine with that.
I think I'm going to start crying. I don't know what I need to say to make you understand.
Well, what a coincidence. I was thinking the exact same thing. Maybe it would help if I said it this way. The fact that I don't have a mom, the struggles that came along with that, and the way that so many people came together to help me through it all, are a part of what made me the person I am today. I'm perfectly happy with the way things are. In other words, I don't need some random person forcing their way into my life and mucking it all up.
Hey, hold on. I am not some random person. You may not remember much about me, but that doesn't change the fact that I am your mother. And as your mother, I deserve a lot more respect than you're giving me. I have been nothing but kind to you during this conversation.
Huh. Looks like your conversation didn't go exactly as you had hoped.
Clay, is it you again?
Yep. Sally had a really satisfied look on her face when she handed me back my phone just now. And looking through your conversation, it looks like she said all that she had to say. What an eloquent girl. I'm impressed.
Impressive? That's what you call impressive? Didn't you see the way she was talking to me? Me, her mother. Is that how you raised her, Clay? I knew it. A man raising a child on his own is a recipe for disaster.
I don't really want to hear that from you. After all, it's your fault that I was put in a position where I had to raise her as a single man. What do you think gives you the right to comment on the way I raised her?
Duh, isn't it obvious? She's my daughter. I'm her mother. The only reason she was so rude to me was because you have been gaslighting her into believing I'm some kind of monster. How could you turn my own daughter against me?
Do you even know what gaslighting means? The problem here is that telling Sally the plain truth about what you did would be enough to make her hate you. But I can honestly say we don't hate you anymore. We don't care about you at all.
Don't talk like that.
Oh, would you like me to talk about something else? How about the fact that the only reason you're crawling back to us is that you need a lot of money fast?
What?
The guy you left me for left you too, didn't he? And when he left you with a big fat pile of debt.
How did you find out about that?
I heard about everything from a lawyer friend of mine. So your plan was to use Sally as emotional blackmail in order to get me to take you back. Then once I did, you were gonna suck me dry. Do I have that right?
No, that's not right at all.
Oh yeah? Then go on, I'm listening. Why did you choose to text me so suddenly after 10 years?
I don't know. I guess I didn't really have much of a reason.
Right. Sure, whatever. It doesn't matter anyway. No matter what reason you might have to reach out to me, neither Sally nor I want anything to do with you. So stay away from us. Got it? Goodbye.
Hey, hold it right there. This conversation is not finished. Clay!
She kept on sending more and more obnoxious texts after that, so I blocked her number again. If she went out and got another new phone number just to harass us, I was planning on going to the police and reporting her for stalking. Fortunately, though, I didn't have to do that. Why is that, you may ask? Well, a few days after I blocked her number, she got arrested for trespassing and breaking and entering. Apparently, she broke into the house that we used to live in back when she first left us. I guess she didn't know that I had moved back into my parents' house in the meantime. That was a recommendation from my sister Stacy, and boy, am I glad I listened to her. I feel really bad for the people we sold the house to. They didn't deserve to get dragged into this. I gotta say, I was pretty moved when I read through the conversation that Sally had with Maria. I had no idea that she felt that way about me. I hate that my issues with her mother have caused her so much trouble in her young life, but that all just makes me want to work twice as hard to ensure that she always feels loved and never feels alone. Sometimes I feel like it would genuinely be good for her to have a mother figure in her life. You know, someone that she can actually call her mother. But I also know that I can't just go out and marry any willing woman. She's gonna have to be okay with taking on the heavy responsibility of being a stepmother. And, more importantly, she's going to have to be someone who Sally can love and respect as her mother. In the meantime, though, Sally and my sister Stacy are having a great time together.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Elliot. Got a minute? I need to talk to you about something. Lainey? Yeah, I've got some time. What's on your mind? Did you hear about the announcement? Announcement? What announcement? The one from the kindergarten. They're having a performance this Saturday. Don't tell me you didn't know. Oh, that. Yeah, I know about it. You sounded so serious, I thought it was something bad. So, what about the performance? Huh, that's a pretty casual reaction. You make it sound like it's no big deal. I'm kind of cold, don't you think? It's the kid's big moment, and you're acting like it's nothing. That's not true. The way you started the conversation threw me off. I thought something was wrong. Of course I'm excited about the performance. Oh, really? Well, I'd hope so. What's that supposed to mean? I mean, Amy's playing the lead role, right? Of course you're excited. So you knew. But listen, it's not like I'm excited just because she's the lead. I'd be proud of her no matter what role she's playing. Oh, please, don't act like you're above all that. Excuse me? What's that supposed to mean? Come on, everyone knows being the lead is better than some background role. Don't pretend you don't care about that. Don't put words in my mouth. That's not how I feel. Oh, yeah? So you're saying you wouldn't mind if Amy weren't the lead? Exactly. As long as the kids enjoy themselves, that's what matters most. Then let Cam take the lead. What? I'm saying let Cam take the lead role. If it doesn't matter to you, then it shouldn't be a problem, right? Are you serious? That's impossible. See, I knew it. You're just pretending it's not a big deal, but deep down you don't want to give it up. That's not what I meant. Look, it's not something we can just decide ourselves. The teachers are the ones who assign the roles. I'm not asking you to change things yourself. All you have to do is tell the teacher that Amy wants to give up the role for Cam. Easy, right? That's ridiculous. And no, I'm not doing that. Why not? Because Amy's been working hard on this for weeks. She's excited about it. You can't just expect her to step aside. And anyway, did Cam even say she wanted the lead? I don't recall her being the type to throw a fit about this kind of thing. Of course Cam wouldn't whine about it. But when I heard about the performance, I asked Kay what role Cam had, and she told me Cam wasn't the lead. So obviously, Cam must have wanted it. Well, that sounds like you're just assuming things. Either way, I'm not asking Amy to give up her role. You'll have to let it go. Come on, just let him have it. You said the role didn't matter, but clearly you're just pretending. That's not fair. I said I didn't care about what role Amy got, but what Amy feels is a different story. Can you understand that? Why are you so fixated on this? Because Cam's better suited to the role. She's cuter and she's smart enough to pick up the lines quickly. She's perfect for it. You're seriously making this about looks? It's not just that. Cam's charming. She's the type that people naturally want to watch on stage. Don't you get it? She deserves the spotlight. I think we're done here. Goodbye. Wait, you can't just walk away. Listen, I already told my parents about the performance. They're flying in to watch Cam, and if she's not the lead, it's going to be embarrassing. That's not my problem. I doubt your parents will throw a fit just because Cam's not the lead in a kindergarten play. You don't know that. Look, just do this one thing for me. Tell the teacher Amy's giving up the role. Otherwise... Otherwise what? Otherwise, I'll start telling everyone that Amy stole the role from Cam. I'll make sure all the moms know that Cam was supposed to get the lead, but your family forced her out of it. Are you serious right now? You'd really stoop that low? Try me. If you don't give up that role, I'll make sure your family's completely isolated. No more playdates, no more invitations to parties. You'll be an outcast. You know what? Fine. Go ahead. Tell whoever you want. No one's going to believe you. Oh, they will. People love a good story, especially one where the bad guy is easy to point out. Just imagine what they'll say when I tell them how Amy's parents pressured the teacher to pick her over Cam. I'm not playing this game with you. I already sent screenshots of this conversation to the mom group. Excuse me? I'm not kidding. I screenshotted the whole thing. Everyone's going to know how you refused to let Cam have a chance, even after I begged you nicely. I'll make sure they know you're selfish, entitled, and only care about your kid being the star. Huh? The mom group. Didn't you get a notification? Mom group? What's that? I've never heard of it. Oh, You weren't invited? Well, that's unfortunate. What? So I'm the only one left out? That's horrible! Yeah, must have been some kind of oversight. Oh, wait, since you're feeling left out, let me fill you in on how everyone reacted after I posted our little chat. Wait, what do you mean posted? I shared our conversation with the mom group, figured they should know about what's been going on. You what? Why would you do that? Because you were threatening to spread lies about Amy. You said you'd tell everyone that Amy stole Cam's role, so I figured, well, better show everyone the truth first. But what did they say? Let me read some of the comments for you. Lainey's acting ridiculous again. Honestly, she's probably better off not being in the group. She doesn't even seem to care about her own kids' feelings. Did she even ask Cam what she wanted? Maybe that's why she didn't know about the performance until now. And now she's threatening people just to make herself look better? Wow. What is this? Exactly what I said. It's how the other moms reacted after seeing our conversation. But why is everyone saying such awful things about me? Well, for starters, the roles for the play were decided weeks ago. The kids have been practicing for a long time. Memorizing lines takes time, after all. You only just found out about it because you weren't paying attention. If you'd been listening to Cam, you'd have known much sooner. Cam never told me. Oh, come to think of it, she didn't even want me to read the announcement flyer. Maybe that's because she knew how you'd react. What's that supposed to mean? I mean, look at how you've been acting. Going on and on about how only the lead role matters, like anything else is worthless. Can you blame Cam for not wanting to tell you she didn't get the lead? Why would she want to hear her own mother belittling her role? That's not fair. I didn't know. Actually, Cam chose her role herself. The kids volunteered for their parts, and Cam put her hand up right away for the role she's playing. One of the teachers mentioned it when I was helping out the other day. What? No one told me that! Let me guess. You heard the name of the play, assumed there was a princess role, and asked Cam if that's what she was playing. When she said no, you jumped to conclusions. Sounds about right? I thought so. Cam's not upset about her role. You are. Honestly, I think she's excited about her part. She's been working hard on her lines, and I heard she's doing a fantastic job. But if Cam wanted that role so badly... She didn't. Cam picked her role because she liked it. And for the record, the lead role wasn't just handed to Amy. A bunch of kids volunteered for it, and they ended up deciding with a game of rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors? Yep, 3 kids ended up sharing the role. 3? Wait, you didn't know that either? No wonder you've been so fixated on this. I was starting to wonder why you were only coming after me about this. Well, guess that clears things up. The other 2 kids probably just aren't close to Cam, so their names never came up. Why would they need 3 kids for one role? Because the lead role has way more lines than the others. It's too much for one child to handle alone. Splitting it 3 ways makes it manageable. Then what was the point of this whole conversation? I don't know. Were you hoping to brag about Cam standing out and stealing the spotlight? Sounds like you were more worried about how things looked than how Cam actually felt. Honestly, I feel bad for her. That's not true. I just wanted her to have a chance to shine. By forcing her into a role she didn't even want? That's not supporting her, Lainey. That's just feeding your own pride. I wasn't trying to... You know what? Forget it. Cam deserves better than this. She's a sweet kid, and she's already been working hard on the role she chose. You pushing her into something else just because you're worried about what your parents will think, that's not fair to her. I'm not pushing her. Aren't you? Cam's been practicing quietly this whole time, and you didn't even know. If she wanted the princess role so badly, don't you think she'd have told you herself? Instead, she didn't even want you to see the flyer. Doesn't that tell you something? Look, I get it. You're proud of Cam. You want her to stand out, to be the star. But you're so caught up in that you're ignoring what she wants. I just wanted her to feel special. She already does. You should have seen her the other day showing off her costume to the teachers. She was beaming. You know why? Because she's playing the role she wanted, and she's good at it. I didn't know. Of course you don't. You were too busy trying to get her something she didn't even want. I didn't mean to make things worse for her. Then fix it. Talk to Cam. Ask her about her role. Really listen this time. Because right now you're the one making her feel like she's not enough. What if she's disappointed? What if she really did want the lead and she just didn't tell me?
If that's the case, then be there for her. But I think you'll find she's proud of what she's doing. Cam's stronger than you're giving her credit for.
I'll talk to her.
Good, because honestly, she deserves a mom who's cheering her on, not one who's fighting battles she never asked her to.
I messed up, didn't I?
Yeah, but it's not too late to fix it. Just let Cam be Cam. That's all she's asking for. On the day of the performance, the children were eagerly and happily preparing for the play. Their faces lit up with excitement as they rehearsed their lines and movements. It was clear that they had been working hard and were looking forward to showcasing their efforts. The stage was set and the atmosphere was filled with a sense of anticipation and joy. They couldn't wait for their moment to shine, and it was heartwarming to see how much they had invested in making the performance a success. Among them was Amy, who, like the others, had her own set of nerves and excitement. Cam, too, was full of energy, but there was an added weight on her mind. Although the children were all focused on their roles and rehearsing in their own way, for Amy and Cam, the day held a mix of emotions, especially after what happened earlier. After the performance came to an end, everyone was buzzing with excitement. It had been a success, and the children had done a remarkable job. The applause from the audience was loud and full of admiration, and it was clear that the hard work they had put into the play had paid off. Amy and Cam, along with the other children, felt a sense of accomplishment. It was a moment that they would remember, a culmination of their efforts, and it felt like a small victory. However, after the event, as the crowds began to thin and parents started to gather their children, something unexpected happened. Cam's grandparents, her father's parents, approached her. They were warm and welcoming, but there was a noticeable tension in the air. It wasn't the usual cheerful greeting one might expect from family members, but rather a conversation that carried an undercurrent of discomfort and a certain weight of responsibility. Cam had known that something was off, but she hadn't anticipated what they were about to say. Her grandparents began by acknowledging the performance, but their words soon took a more serious turn. They made it clear that they knew about the trouble Cam had caused in the past. Specifically, they brought up the incident where Cam had caused some problems and the fact that she made things difficult for people around her. The conversation then shifted to the apology Cam had made, or rather the apology she hadn't made in the way they thought was necessary. Her grandparents expressed their concerns about the way Cam had handled things and the impact it had on everyone involved, especially her friends and those who had been affected by her actions. They made it clear that they felt Cam needed to reflect on what she had done and make amends, but that there was still a long road ahead before things could be set right. It didn't end there. The conversation continued to delve into the difficult territory of her behavior, with the grandparents pointing out how Cam's actions had caused discomfort not only for the people directly involved, but also for others who had been a part of their social circle. Her friends had been put in an awkward position, and some of them had been hurt by her behavior. It was a harsh reality that Cam had to face, but she knew deep down that the truth of the matter couldn't be ignored. As the conversation unfolded, her grandparents revealed the decision they had made in consultation with Cam's husband. They had decided that Cam should return to her parents' house for a while to reflect on her actions and figure out how to move forward. It wasn't an easy decision for them to make, but they felt it was necessary for Cam's well-being and the well-being of the family. They expressed concern about the way things had been going and wanted her to have the space to think things through and heal. Amy, standing by Cam's side, could see the sadness in her friend's eyes. Cam didn't speak much at first, as the weight of the situation seemed to settle in. The idea of leaving was difficult, and the thought of being separated from her own home was a hard pill to swallow. However, she understood why it had come to this point. It wasn't just about the mistakes she had made, it was about the broader consequences and the need for some time to reflect, grow, and rebuild relationships. Cam's grandparents, although firm in their decision, were not without compassion. They told Cam that they understood how hard it must be, and they reassured her that their love for her had not wavered. They had only made this decision because they believed it was the best thing for her, even if it didn't feel like it in the moment. They didn't want to push her away, but they felt that the time had come for Cam to face the consequences of her actions and take responsibility for them. Amy, despite the sadness she felt for Cam, could see that there was a sense of kindness in the way her grandparents were handling the situation. They weren't being punitive or harsh, rather they were offering Cam the opportunity to reflect and grow in a way that would help her become a better person in the long run. And though it was painful to hear, Amy understood that sometimes difficult decisions had to be made for the greater good. Cam, for her part, listened quietly, her mind racing with a mixture of emotions. She felt a deep sense of regret for the way things had turned out, but she also recognized that this was a chance for her to take a step back and make amends.
Perhaps this separation would be the space she needed to clear her mind, to truly reflect on the mistakes she had made, and to find a way to move forward in a more positive direction. Her grandparents continued to speak kindly, even as they informed Cam that her return to her parents' home was inevitable. They spoke about how living with her grandparents might offer a fresh perspective and a supportive environment. They reassured her that despite the tough love they were showing, they only wanted what was best for her, and that she would have the chance to rebuild her relationship with everyone over time. Amy, though sad to see her friend in such a situation, couldn't help but think that perhaps this would be the best thing for Cam in the long run. The grandparents had always been warm and understanding, and the idea of Cam living with them for a while might be the healing process she needed. They would offer her the stability and support she required, and hopefully, in time, Cam would find a way to rebuild her life and restore the connections she had damaged.
Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.